How you guys doing? Back with another late night discussion. I want to talk about that. I don't know if some guys are aware of this, but I need to shine light on this. Um, there are certain guys who just never stood a chance. Um, I don't know if people are aware of this. I don't know if people know this, but there are certain men when it comes to the world of dating and relationships, they never stood a chance when it comes to women. Females just never liked them from a young age. And if I was to get a tattoo on my chest, I'd get loser tatted on my chest because I understand totally that some people was meant to lose in life. See, one thing I had to understand is that winning, that's not in everybody's DNA. Everybody don't come from that kind of bloodline. Everybody wasn't meant to be a winner. Some people were meant to be a failure. And losing is in some people's bloodline. And if you a loser, just embrace being a loser. I just want to say that for the record. Uh there are certain dudes that, ever since they was teenagers, females just never liked them, you know. Females was never checking for them. Women never digged them. Uh, some guys just don't have it, you know. And it's a lot of male shaming going on in this society, and I don't think a lot of guys understand that there are certain men who were never wanted by women. Women never liked them from the time they were young. Females never digged them, you know. Um, what a lot of guys fail to realize, you can't become something that you never was. If you never been a winner, you'll never be a winner. If you never been a success, you'll never be a success. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Um, like I said in my last presentation, some men would be lucky if they could have a woman that'll tolerate they put behind. And, so let alone a woman loving them. A lot of these dudes who've never been desired by women, they will never have a woman that loved them. They just won't. And people need to understand that there are certain guys who just never had a shot when it comes to the world of dating and relationships. Some men, women never liked them. They was never attracted to them. Some guys just never was that guy. And one thing I had to learn is that if a person never been in your position, they'll never understand what you've had to experience and what you've had to go through. Every dude just ain't got it. They just ain't got it, And see, guys who've always had women digging them from a young age, they think that every man can be on the same type of time that they on. You got certain dudes out here talking foolishness, talking about there are no such thing as unattractive men. They're lazy men. That's BS. There are certain men who are unattractive to women. Every man can't pull no female. They just can't. Every man is just not good enough for women. That's the truth. And the reason to why you have some dudes who don't have the nuts or the courage to approach a woman, the reason why you have some men who may not be comfortable talking to women is because women don't like them no way. Women don't dig them no way. But see, we live in a society that believes in male bashing. It's all about gaslight. It's all about gaslighting men and putting these women up on a pedestal. And that's what needs to stop here. Some dudes just ain't good enough to pull no females. They ain't sexy enough to get no pussy. And that's just the way it is. See, I believe in what you call being real with yourself. See, a lot of people don't like realness. And sometimes you can be a little too real for people and they can't handle it. And then they want to kick you to the curb and not deal with you. But see, what people fail to realize is that you got some dudes who was just never desired to begin with. Women just never liked them. So how is a man who's never been desired, how are these type of men supposed to have confidence and have the courage to even approach a woman? Come on now. These dudes were never selected from the beginning. And this is why I say dudes who've always had women liking them, their reality is different from these types of men's reality. So they don't understand. Good looking people live in a total different world from ugly people. They do. They're totally oblivious to the real world because they get a lot of passes and privileges because of the way they look. So people who are considered attractive, they don't understand what it's like for ugly people, nor do they feel sorry for ugly people. So one thing I had to learn, if you're a man that's not desired by women, the last person you need to listen to is a man who gets a lot of pussy. You don't need to listen to that type of man because he don't understand your situation and he ain't never walked a mile in your shoes. So what the hell does he know? See, like I stated, there are certain men who just never stood a chance when it comes to the dating scene. Women never liked them. Women have never been checking for them. And like Baraka used to always tell me, Nick, and one thing about Nick, he always told me that he was a loser. That's why I love talking to him. He was real with himself, even though he ended up setting himself on fire. But one reason why I love talking to Nick, Nick used to always tell me that when it come to women, it's all about looks. And it is all about looks. Women try to say they don't care about looks. It's all about personality. That's a damn lie. That's why women choose the worst type of men to procreate with, because it's all about looks. And women create insecure men. They create desperate men. They create thirsty men. But see, women don't like being held accountable for nothing. And people would always tell men, especially guys in these types of positions, you know, men who've never been desired by women, people will tell these types of men that it's their fault to why women have never desired them. How? If you're a guy and females have never desired you, it's not your fault. I don't buy that. Women are shallow. They don't want to give pussy to everybody. So don't let nobody try to tell you that it's your fault to why women have never selected to fool with you. The reason why they never wanted to deal with you because they just don't find you to be a good looking man. They think you're ugly. That's why females have never wanted to date you or be with you. And this is what people need to understand. There are certain men who never stood a chance when it comes to the dating arena. But see, dating coaches and pickup artists, they don't understand that. They want to tell you that it's about confidence. Confidence has nothing to do with attracting women. And the reason to why some men have confidence in themselves is because women find them attractive. That's all it is to it. And if you're a dude who never stood a chance when it comes to women, don't let men tell you that it's your fault. Don't let men tell you that it's your fault to why no woman has ever wanted to bust it open for you. That's a daggone lie. That's a lie. Women just find you to be ugly. And that's all it is to it. You know? See, one thing I had to come to terms with, and one thing I respected a lot about Baraka, he didn't have no shame in being a failure. You know, he made me feel comfortable with being a failure. You know, and being a failure is not anything to be ashamed of. because when it comes to the dating scene, there are certain guys who just never stood a chance. Some dudes were destined to fail from day one. Females never liked them. Females was never attracted to them. Some dudes was just destined to fail, you know? And that's just the way the cookie crumbles for certain dudes. Some dudes have never been wanted. Women just don't like them. And that's what people need to understand, you know? Some men, unfortunately, just never stood a chance. So I don't like how they try to attack dudes who've never been desired, telling them to go to the gym and all that. The gym ain't gonna turn your life around. If you a dude who's never been sought after, it's over. But this has been another late night discussion. You guys have a good night. And I just wanted to shine light on this issue.